Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and remember to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon. NMCA is an acronym of the common elements found in most EV batteries, particularly when it comes to legacy autos or all long-range EVs. They're usually a combination of nickel, cobalt, manganese, and or aluminium. Obviously, we know that Tesla have created a chemistry that allows them a cathode solely with nickel. However, even though nickel being reasonably abundant, it's like I always say, we need a lot of batteries. So as we need so many batteries, the only choice is to use elements that are abundant, and we must think in this way. For example, we often hear people talk about lithium and how it is scarce. Elon seems to continually reassure us about how much lithium there is in the world, but others are concerned. And that although that might be the case, and although there may be enough lithium in the world, it may take years until a mine actually starts producing any decent yields. However, there are also batteries that use sodium instead of lithium, again a more abundant element than lithium. Although now EV numbers are still low and only a small percentage of sales relative to other vehicles, but if they're to become as big as we all hope, then it can only be done using elements that are of high abundance. The problem is trying to still get as much energy efficiency out of these elements as possible. Now, you've often heard me discuss LFP batteries at length before, which are an iron-based cathode. One of the reasons is that iron is far more abundant than nickel, according to Elon by 10 to 100 times. So much research and development is about to be poured into R&D on the LFP batteries. It's going to be a core component of new energy. The fact that iron is abundant is also of only one of the advantages too for LFP, albeit quite a large one, and the fact iron is thus lower cost. But it comes with other advantages like it being safer and more durable battery. It is such an important battery chemistry, and soon it will be open to the world when the patent expires. It should be like the gold rush, trying to develop all sorts of LFP batteries for various applications. Through global free market innovation, I hope this creates some radical innovation and revolutionary jumps in technology for these batteries. As we know, once a product is in the free market, the freer the barrier to entry, the less regulation there is, then the product can evolve faster. A patent expiring is a major removal of barrier to entry. Then technology can evolve. Perhaps Elon will say anyone who wants to use any 4680 patents must open up all their other battery-related patents too, which would be in line with the mission. Therefore, Tesla could equally benefit from everyone else's achievements in battery technology. We're so incredibly early with LFP batteries, or batteries in general, given that EVs are just going to keep growing exponentially. The backlog will continue to grow, whilst the amount of EVs they keep making will grow exponentially. Not to mention the amount of batteries we need for energy. Then think how early on we are with all this, and how much more the industry will improve. The world might have consumed 100 times more batteries over the next 10 years. We need so many batteries to succeed with this transition. Makes perfect sense. The best elements to research with batteries are abundant ones. Of course, eventually we'll have recycling and then we can significantly reduce the mining for all these resources, but that might be a few decades away. It sounds like Tesla is still scrambling to make as many batteries as humanly possible, hence why Elon has said in the past around 80% of all batteries Tesla use will be LFP. But here's where it gets exciting. On the Q4 earnings call, Elon was talking about using manganese as a cathode too. He also replied to the limiting factor on Twitter when inquiring about what Elon had said on the call about a manganese cathode. Elon is saying it's an alternative to iron phosphate. It sounds highly possible that manganese cathodes may be a great solution for some applications. If manganese can offer higher energy density than iron, yet still lower cost and highly abundant, then it may be a real breakthrough. This is huge news. This is a new battery chemistry that we haven't heard Tesla consider before, and it has a chance to be brilliant for many applications. We could hopefully look forward to having a second battery day sometime this year. Hopefully Tesla will show us their LFP battery, which Elon has specifically said will not be 4680, which is also what I've been saying for a good part of last year. Anyway, hopefully now everyone believes me. This means that Tesla will be using a variety of chemistries, form factors and sizes with their batteries. It doesn't appear there can be a one-size-fits-all solution, at least not anytime soon, let alone one that's scalable and feasible. Therefore, I think there is no way around one of the compromises in growing faster will be to adapt vehicles to as many different batteries as possible. Some economies of scale may be lost, but it might mean there are twice as many batteries at Tesla's disposal. so it would be worth it. Within time, all energy batteries will be LFP anyway. CATL can keep ramping those batteries for Tesla, and Tesla will likely start making a profit with energy. But as for any new Tesla batteries, I would say 100% chance the form factor will all be cylindrical, for the simple reason that it's the fastest way to manufacture batteries. The batteries could end up having some consistencies, such as the same heights, just different diameters. Who can say? I guess Tesla will keep using 18650 and 2170 batteries for some time too. It would be best for Tesla to maintain some consistency, of course. When batteries become more abundant, Tesla can start to choose which batteries to use. Right now, beggars can't be choosers, as there simply isn't much choice. There will likely be the ability to create more consistency in the battery packs themselves at least. Eventually more batteries will be tabless, and they will be structural. As Elon has said, all cars should be made this way in the future, and he's not the kind of person to look backwards. Could it be that within time, perhaps 5 or so years, when Tesla has a more solid supply of batteries and varieties more apt for certain use, the chemistry breakup might be like this? The long range and performance have the 4680 full nickel battery and will be capable of in excess of 400 miles of range. Then there could be a medium range, that would be the manganese batteries, offering 300 to 400 miles range. This is a great range and likely at a good price point by this stage. Then there would be the LFP standard range, perhaps reaching as high as 300 miles of range by this stage, with all the new global innovation we hope to see over the next 5 years' time. I think Tesla will also still offer a lower cost version of the standard range from China using CATL LFP batteries. Ironically, within time, these might actually be the highest cost battery for Tesla, and yet they are selling these cars at the lowest cost compared to their other vehicles. You see, the Chinese are letting Tesla do business there and own 100% of the company, but with likely huge protectionism over their battery industry. In that Tesla will continue to order all batteries CATL can make, but possibly Tesla will not make their own batteries in China. But this deal also works well for Tesla, as they get to make more cars than they could otherwise, and get to learn a ton about manufacturing in China. But the margin on a Chinese CATL Model Y standard range will never be as good as a Berlin or Austin 4680 Model Y. For one, they can be made cheaper, and two, they can be sold for more. Yes, Tesla in China is 100% owned by Tesla, but I think Tesla China will always remain a Chinese battery Tesla, at least for the majority of vehicles made there. But that's fine. CATL can continue to provide Tesla in Asia, and Tesla can use their resources elsewhere. The Asian sales are pretty much all extra sales that Tesla would have not had without CATL anyway, so it doesn't matter so much that the margins in China are not as good. And like I said, think about how much Tesla learned from Chinese manufacturing. We've seen how fast those Model Y lines have become. Anyway, the LMO or manganese batteries, well, these may come before Tesla's own LFP batteries. Elon said the manganese could replace the iron in LFP batteries, rather than saying the nickel in NMC batteries, implying a similar chemistry setup to iron and thus the same benefits of LFP batteries. Yet manganese is meant to have a higher energy density, closer to nickel. This is why it's such a big deal. If Tesla have made a breakthrough with manganese, it really could hit the sweet spot for so many EVs, thus saving nickel for the vehicles that do require a lot of power and range. I know Tesla's FSD is mind-blowing and exciting, but so is the battery technology, and Elon mentioning manganese batteries is up there too. Now, as I've been saying for some time, the LFP battery will be a different size from the 4680 and use whatever size is most desirable for that chemistry and its intended use and applications, whether it's to reduce cost or generate better energy density. And the same will apply for the manganese batteries. In addition to that, there will very likely be a different battery size for energy storage again, which I've also been saying will be LFP for even Powerwalls, as it makes so much more sense. Which means I see no reason why the price of Powerwalls might eventually come down by half, but they will become potentially almost twice as heavy. So there should be two different LFP sizes, one for energy storage and one for EVs, each designed around what is most important for their application. I think there will be a different standard range in China that will be committed to using CATL's LFP batteries. So these other batteries will only apply for Europe and North American markets possibly. For example, Australia might be in the catchment of Shanghai still. We can also take from this that Tesla has not finished with their battery chemistry yet either. They've still been playing around with different chemistries and seeing what will fit. Likely a lot of the lessons that were learned and processes that were developed can be plugged into any new battery line. This could be a huge breakthrough. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe, You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.